This is the story of a homeless man that changed my life forever with just $1. It was one of those days when everything seemed to be going wrong. My car had just broken down, and I was waiting for a tow truck while sitting on the side of the road. I hope you don't mind if I sit here for a while. I was hoping to get a ride into town, but it looks like that might not be happening anytime soon. It was then that I noticed a homeless man approaching me. He was a very smart and articulate guy, and we talked about everything from philosophy to politics to the meaning of life. To be honest, at first I felt a little bit scared because he looked pretty intense. It was nice talking to you too. Hey, before you go, could you spare some change for a homeless man? I'm trying to make enough money to buy some food. He was huge, covered in tattoos, and had a shaved head. But then he started talking, and I realized that he was actually very polite and friendly. I couldn't believe it. He had lied to me, and he had stolen my money. I felt angry and betrayed. It was a well-known self-help book, and it looked like he had read it several times before. I felt a sense of admiration mixed with embarrassment. I watched him for a few more minutes, but he didn't do anything suspicious. He simply walked up to the librarian, checked out some books, and then left. Here I had judged this homeless man who had nothing, yet he was clearly trying to better himself. I had judged this man without knowing his story, and I had let my fear and prejudice get the better of me. I felt ashamed, but I also felt inspired by his resilience and determination. "Good afternoon, ma'am," he said. I wanted to apologize for my behavior and offer him some more money. But when I got there, he was nowhere to be seen. I handed it over to John, and he looked at me with tears in his eyes. We talked for a while, and I learned that his name was John, and that he had been living on the streets for several years after losing his job and his house. But then I remembered that I had an important meeting in about an hour, and I started to get a little bit nervous. Your story could be the next inspiration for a Reddit post. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. I learned that it is important to look beyond a person's appearance and to treat everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of their circumstances. The homeless man may have needed the money more than I did, but what he gave me was worth far more than money could ever buy. I hope that wherever he is, John knows that he made a positive impact on my life and that I will never forget the valuable lesson he taught me. I also learned that sometimes the people who have the least are the ones who can teach us the most. "I'm so sorry, John," I said. "I have to run, but it was really nice talking to you." John didn't seem to mind. "No worries, ma'am," he said with a big smile. Of course, I reached into my purse and pulled out everything I had, which happened to be $1.52. He wasn't walking towards the nearest gas station or convenience store. He was walking towards a bus stop. So I pulled out my phone and started following him from a distance. I didn't want to scare him off, so I kept a safe distance behind him. "Thank you so much, ma'am," he said. "This means more to me than you'll ever know." He then got up, brushed off his clothes, and started walking away. And that's when I noticed something strange. I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being lied to. About 10 minutes later, John got onto the bus and paid for his fare with the exact amount, $1.52. But then I saw him pull out a book and start reading it. I continued to follow him, and I saw him get off the bus and enter a library. That's when I realized that I had made a terrible mistake. I decided to go back to the library and see if I could find him. I never did see John again, but I often think of him and the valuable lesson he taught me. And finally, I learned that a simple act of kindness, like giving a homeless person $1, can make a world of difference in their life. Have you ever experienced the moment when you realized that someone you judged was actually better off than you were? Share your story in the comments below.